Can you imagine? Just imagine. Not only do the Canucks magically make a run to the Stanley Cup final in this imaginary dream scenario,
Okay.
they get the Bruins.
That'd be great.
In which case,
No, would not.
Yes, it
really?
would. Yeah.
In which case, is it a nightmare scenario?
No,
like
I don't
that
think-
is
I can't-
that is the ultimate.
I can't
God
do two
go-
losses in the road to the
Yeah,
Bruins in the finals.
can you imagine that is like the ultimate
Oh, I don't want to think
hockey
about
gods trick on
it. As
the Canucks
sweet as
fan
it would
base?
be to beat them in the finals,
You have to
the
lean in-
opposite is so bad that
Yeah.
I don't even want to take that chance.
I disagree with you. I disagree
Oh.
with you both. I think it would be the absolute chef's kiss of a Stanley Cup final.
There
Oh,
would
it'd be a great final. I'm not
No,
discounting
you
that.
have
There
to take
would
it.
be-
You have
there
to
was-
take it.
It's too risky. It's
Way too risky, though.
It's
Yeah.
too risky.
What would
You're yelling to the
imagine
defense.
though? Just
No
imagine.
hip checks. Like
It's like it would be like having the heartbreak of your life, falling in love with someone, and you know, like you live this great, you know, short time together, and then there's like a horrid breakup, like out of nowhere. She dumps you, and you're like, what happened? And then, you know, like 15 years later, she comes back into your life, and she says, I want to get back together. And you're like, ugh,
You're like
I just
100
spent the last 15 years recovering from you, and now you want to get back together? And Halford's like, okay.
Yep.
And
Let's
then-
have a kid.
And then she's like, actually, nah.
No, that's
I
the
would
thing.
travel back in time to my 2011 self and be like, okay, the Canucks will make the finals again someday. However,
What you have to do is you have to understand.
And Marchand scores the winning goal
No,
in triple overtime of
okay.
Game 7.
okay.
No,
Uh,
I can't do it. It's too much.
I'm
This
all
is
about it.
but,
Like I think tonight is this is the like pre Stanley Cup final game one.
Honestly, it's such a Canucks scenario at this point that I almost would expect it to happen. Like if it did occur, I'd be like, yep, okay, I could see that. Yeah, okay, it's fair.
I mean, the other thing too is that as we once again relitigate 2011 for the 276 billionth time on the Halford and Brough show on Sportsnet 650 and TSN 1040 when we did it back then too, the way that series went from no storylines, no passion, no history to this is the most savage Stanley Cup final in the last 30 years was great. That was the thing, is there was no rivalry going into it. There was nothing.
Oh, if you weren't a fan of either team watching that final, it'd be like the best thing ever.
I kind of remember a lot of like television executives in the aftermath saying, like, going into that, we were very concerned because we had a Canadian team in the Stanley Cup final. So American viewers were like this. I mean, the American audience was kind of like whatever, right? They're usually not all that invested in the Canadian teams, just historically speaking. And then there was no real. I remember going through the regular season matchups of the two teams going into the Stanley Cup final, and the games were total duds.
Yeah,
Like,
they're
there
probably
was,
sleepers because they didn't really know each
there
other.
was just nothing there.
Yeah.
Anyway, we should probably get off this because we're a long ways away from that. I did want to just focus on this Bruins team, though, because
Surrey Ryan, the Bruins are basically Jenny from Forrest Gump.
yeah, that's a very apt. Very apt.
I
Right?
thought a lot about while I was running. I
Yeah.
thought about Jenny.
Yeah, like she just keeps coming back into your life, and it's never good.
They have a kid together. Is he like me?
Yeah,
Is he?
that's it. Well, that's the Forrest Gump model. Is like, yeah, she's bad for you, and she's probably not going to stick around, but it'll work if we have a kid together. True story.
Jenny, like she was like, he's doing pretty well in school. Don't worry, Forrest.
Yeah. And Forrest was like, all right, like there you go.
However, is Boston Jenny? Because I mean, she eventually did die. So,
Boston is Jenny. Yeah,
so I mean, they're
that's the second Stanley Cup final. What happens to Jenny? Well, for Boston, it's not great.
She was awful. She was she
didn't-
comes.
she
She
needed
had
to
a
figure her
heart of
life out.
gold. She had her problems.
But yeah, she treated him pretty badly.
No,
though.
she didn't. She just didn't
What are
treat
you
him.
talking about?
She just didn't treat him great. She kept coming. She was the one that he loved unconditionally.
But she
Right.
never loved him.
But she, came
I mean,
back
I
every now and then.
understand why. There
Yeah.
might not have been that attraction right off the hop. But
Right, but eventually she learned
I
that
was like, look at
Forrest
this
was a
guy in
special
leg
person.
braces.
Forrest was a special person. in her
Yeah.
life,
Okay.
I
at
think.
any rate.
Anyway, the Jenny from Forrest Gump Boston Bruins comparison analogy is out there now. If you want to weigh in on that,